What is up, everyone? I hope you guys are having a great day. My name is Zach Bowman, and today we are on day 87 of not drinking alcohol. We're feeling good. We're trying to invest money instead of getting drunk, making dumb decisions, and really just trying to have a physical body that reflects the physical mind. And, I want to get ripped. I want to get in shape. I've gained a lot of weight, dealing with Lyme disease, and I am trying to build a brand where I help people lose weight, feel good about themselves, and just challenge what society deems normal. So, moving into alcohol, we have done some calculations over the past probably, 10 years. I don't know when you started drinking, but you have probably spent good amount of money on alcohol related events. We can see that if you just drink regularly or, go to the bars or have drunk food or smoke weed or need medicine for your hangover remedies and puke in Ubers and, use taxis when you go to New York City or fly to Chicago or fly across the country and rent cars and make impulse purchases, whether that be vacations or buying a new car or just buying stupid shit. I mean, God, I can't even tell you how many times I thought it was a good idea to buy something when I was drunk. So we're looking at being a total degenerate gambler when it comes to drinking alcohol. And I'll be the first one to admit, if you guys know me, I love drinking. And I don't think I have a problem with it, but I know that I like to get buzzed. I like to kind of get drunk. And I don't want to just have one drink. I want to feel the effects of alcohol. And typically the next day I don't feel well when I wake up. Given the fact that I'm on day 87 of no drinking, I feel good. I wake up refreshed. I wake up sober. I wake up feeling like I can accomplish the day and do what I need to do to get things done, make money, and just get to where I want to be by the time I'm 60 years old on this kind of vision board type of activity that I'm doing. So with that being said, we're going to go through this chart. We're going to look at the average cost of just rebuilding your life. If if shit hits the fan, if you're trying to just figure out what your next move is, kind of like what I'm doing. So I'm going to use some national averages based on income. I'm going to do some national averages based on just what you spend on alcohol at the grocery stores. And we're going to go through an exercise to prove that you have enough fucking money to invest, to retire comfortably, and to live a comfortable life. So with that being said, stay tuned, listen in, and we'll have some fun. So with that being said, we can see that we've broken down this chart into 10-year increments, 15-year increments, and 10-year increments based on the age range of 21 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 55, and 56 to 65. Like I said before, I'm no saint. I pissed away my 20s. I had illness. I had to figure stuff out. So I probably didn't drink as much as a lot of my peers have or people that I know. But just given the circumstances of using the internet, I have come to these numbers. So the typical range of drinking from 20 to 65 is, 15 grand total across a 10-year period, 20 grand, 37 grand, 20 grand. If we look at spending money out at the bar, we're looking at 40 grand, 50 grand, 45 grand, and 10 grand. Drunk food, me, guilty, 100% guilty. I love my drunchies. Cookout, Taco Bell, Five Guys, Chipotle, just go into Mexican food, Italian food, pizza, it doesn't matter. I spend more money and eat more and continue to drink when I am drunk. So I know you fuckers are eating more food when you're drunk, in parentheses there, 15 grand, 20 grand, 22 grand, 10 grand, a total of 67K over a 44-year period. So if we're looking at hangover remedies, I don't know if you smoke weed. I don't know if you go get breakfast, go get brunch and drink more. I don't know what type of medicine you have to do to recover, whether that's Advil. I don't know if you're having to go to doctor's visit because your stomach's fucked up. In terms of lost productivity, you're not as efficient when you're hungover, so you're losing money. In terms of Ubers and taxis, going out is expensive. You puke in an Uber, that's going up significantly. These numbers might be a little inflated, but I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't matter. Long term, we can get rid of some of these numbers, but if you look at the total 100% degenerate cost, it's expensive to drink alcohol and do alcohol-related activities. I'm not trying to tell you to live your life a certain way. All I'm doing is just saying that I think there's an opportunity cost related to drinking that you go travel, go enjoy your life, but don't do it at the expense of getting drunk every time. And I am changing the way that I live my life, and I hope that I'm inspiring others to change the way that they live their life as well, because I see this as a long-term plan to reach my goals and full potential. When we look at flights, rental cars, etc., it's expensive. Impulse purchases, decisions. I know we've all bought stupid shit when we drink alcohol. So if you're looking at being a 100% degenerate, like I used to be in college, or right after college, I know a lot of people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s that are still degenerates. And I don't use that term to make fun of people. I just say that this is kind of balling out, and you're living your life to the fullest. You're partying hard, and I know a lot of you guys party hard. I've grown up with you. I used to party hard. If you look at just 20% of the cost, 40% of the cost, 60% of the cost, or 80% of the cost, we're looking at well over $100,000 of potential investment money given a 44-year total investment period. So you might say, damn, I am spending a lot of money on alcohol. You might be. I'm not saying go cold turkey right away. But what I am saying is think differently, adapt a strategy that can help you save money and invest that instead for your kids. And we'll see what happens long term. When we look at the investment calculator in terms of investing some of this money, as opposed to spending it on alcohol-related events, we can see that given a 31-year-old single male with a life expectancy of 90 years old, if you just put $1,000 into Bitcoin today and $1,000 yearly without alcohol, you can easily get to those numbers. I know you guys spend tons of money on alcohol a year. If Bitcoin grows at a price of 19% annually with an annual inflation of 2%, and a desired annual retirement income of $50K, you guys don't need that much to live. I know that you don't need that much to live. All you need is rent, some other stuff, good memories, travel, and just enjoying time with your family. So instead of getting drunk and hammered and wasting my life and pissing, years of my life away, getting sick, gaining weight, I will hypothetically be able to retire at the age of 57 with just $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and an annual estimated buy of $1,000. Let's break down the math a little more. If you look at the national average in my optimized life, a blueprint for success, you can see that the average national average of just a regular dude living in North Carolina probably makes an average of $54,000 a year pre-tax. If we look at that post-tax, we have $43,000 or a monthly budget of $3,600. The rent for the NC average is $1,400. Your energy bill could be $100. Your food expenses, which are not cheap, and I don't know if I'm lowballing or highballing this, we're looking at $350. If you got a phone bill on a family plan, we're looking at $70. Your daily investment or fun, you got $10 a day, $300 overall a month. If you drive an F-150 like I do, you're spending a lot more money on gas, $200 a month. If you play golf like I do at $80 a round, $160 a month. If we look at internet, you got to have that Wi-Fi, baby. We're looking at $60 a month. And then in terms of protecting your car or your vehicle or your truck like me, we're looking at $120. I've taken all these numbers from Grok, and I want to invest, safely. I want to invest for the future. And, nothing's a safe investment. Everything holds some risk. So when we look at the S&P 500, we're going to put $100 a month into the S&P 500, and we're going to put $100 in a month into Bitcoin, which some people might say is risky. But if you look at how much we're debasing the dollar year over year, printing money out of thin air, you can see that, what you think is a risky investment, I see as just a good investment. So given those numbers, you can see that you have about $640 to fuck around. That's your fuck around budget. So you can, buy clothes, spend money on alcohol if you want to, spend money on traveling. If you got a girlfriend, I don't know, boyfriend, don't know, but you got some money to play around with. So I know a lot of you guys are making a ton more money than the national average, and I think that's awesome. What I am challenging myself to do, and what I think is interesting to do, instead of pissing my money away on stuff that I'm not going to get a positive ROI on, how can I invest that money instead to have money in the future? When we look at an investment calculator that I put together, we can see, using the numbers from before, the national average of $43,000 a year, you got monthly rent of $1,400. Your annual rent expenses are going to be $16.8K. Your regular expenses from the chart before of $1,360 are going to be $16,320. So your total annual expenses are $33K. When we look at the annual savings, given the annual income of $43K, you have about $10K in annual savings left over. If we look at just a small investment of $100 a month into Bitcoin and $100 a month into the S&P 500, given a growth rate of the 13% that the S&P 500 did last year, and a conservative growth rate for Bitcoin at 30%, you can see that your total investment up front of $200, if you're just starting over, 31 years old, you're going to have money when you're 41, 51, 61, and 71. The values don't lie. You might have some great, drunk conversations. You're always going to have great memories, whether you're sober, drunk, or whatever state you want to be in. But what I'm saying is I'd rather have 100K in the future than a hangover tomorrow. If we look in terms of Bitcoin and just investing for my future and investing for my kids' future when I do have kids and get married and want to start a family and build a house or travel the world or do whatever I want to do, long term, my family will have money with the $12 million that I might hypothetically have if Bitcoin grows at a 30% CAGR year over year. It's been growing at an 88% CAGR year over year, so we'll see what happens. I think that's kind of conservative. If we bump it down to just say a mere 15%, you're still going to have a decent amount of money. And this is just lowballing. This is not aggressive. If we look at putting 1,000, if we look at putting 500 a month or 500 a month, you're going to have more money. So when we look at the overall retirement calculator, we're looking at 34 years of working until we have to retire. We're putting $100 into the S&P 500. We're putting $100 into Bitcoin. We don't have anything in savings. We're assuming a 10% S&P return, a 20% Bitcoin return, an annual inflation rate of 3%. You're going to have some money to retire. You're going to have $6,000 monthly of real money to retire. So the cost of drinking, guys, is expensive. I am going to just question whether or not we need to do this. Society teaches us that Thursday through Saturday, you're supposed to be drinking. Ask yourself, when was the last time you went 2 weeks sober? I want to know. Seriously. When I looked at my life, over the past X amount of years, regardless of illness, when I was 21 to 24, who knows? Thursday through Saturday, drunk. Sunday hungover. Friday hungover. Saturday hungover, then drunk again. the amount of money, the amount of fun I had was you can't take away the fact that I had fun with my buddies and I made memories that I'll never forget. But I also made decisions that I wish I could take back. I wish I wasn't hungover. I wish I, didn't ruin a relationship with someone that I was dating, etc., etc. Being sober and not drinking changes your perspective on how you're supposed to operate in society, at least from my perspective. So when we look at the Bitcoin calculator, if you got kids, you cut back your drinking 25%. Let's just put $1,000 down and $200 a year into Bitcoin. Your kid's going to be able to retire at the age of 35. I mean, do you want to be drunk now, or do you want your kids to be able to do whatever they want with their life career-wise in the future? I want my kids to be able to have a great life, not worry about money, not worry about paying loans back from college, and just doing the things that they want to do. I don't need a lot of money to have a great life. I already have a great life. But what I am trying to find is my purpose. I'm trying to find a way to help people lose weight. I'm trying to find a way to help people get to the next level and really tap into that energy and potential that is within all of us. So to conclude the video today, we're on day 87 of no drinking. We've saved a lot of money. We're investing it instead into assets that I think are going to appreciate in the future. They might depreciate, who knows? One thing for certain is your money and alcohol is a expense and a cost that you will never get back. It might affect your body. It'll certainly make you gain weight, and it'll certainly make you eat more food. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll catch you tomorrow.